Hey, good afternoon, Aggie Land, and we welcome you back inside the TexAgs studio. It is the 15th episode of Looch Bock TexAgs. I'm Gabe Bock, joined each week by Billy Liucci. We're live most Wednesdays, right around high noon at texags.com/live. On the TexAgs YouTube channel and the podcast platform of your choice, search Looch Bock and subscribe to the podcast. Looch Bock, presented by Bock Realty Group, luxury, new construction, first-time home buying, investment, real estate, and more. BRG, a two-time Aggie 100 company. Find incredible resources for buying, selling, or investing on our website, BockRealtyGroup.com. Bock Realty Group, turning our experience into your advantage. It's a playoff edition of the program for the first time I've ever said that, actually. We're pretty fired up about it. Aggies reached the CFP for the first time in the playoff era. A&M's the 7 seed. You can bitch and complain about that all you want, but here it is. Miami in a big-time showdown, by far the best matchup of the weekend. Winner moves on to the quarterfinals, gets Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl New Year's Eve. It doesn't get much better than that. Billy Liucci, how you doing?
I'm good, Gabe. It's no coincidence we start this show this year. A&M's in the playoffs.
Come on.
I think not.
Exactly. Hey, look, we finished 5th my last year, COVID year, and then actually the final poll's 4 after Carolina.
Yep.
Then I come back and we go 11-1. So there's something to be said.
Hopefully they get themselves a top
lucky.
4 finish this year, because that would certainly mean a win on Saturday.
Man.
Probably mean 2 wins, but definitely on Saturday.
Quick side note, what do you think about our coasters? Conrad Schindler, one of the heroes on the 2009 Aggie Golf National Championship team under JT Higgins, remember, with Bronson Burgoon and the boys. Connie's like a Renaissance man, right? He's good at just pretty much everything. Now he's doing these coasters on the side with no time that he has. I don't know how he does it when kids are in business. And he wanted to send those to Nuno to spruce up the desk a little bit and create.
Save the desk.
There's too many rings, he said. He notices it on camera. So
Can you really?
Yeah, I'm going to save it.
He can't see that on camera.
Kidding.
You can't see the top of this.
That was his in, right? Like, I'm going to fix the ring situation on the studio. So there you go.
Thanks, Connie. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. What do you think about this matchup, man?
I think I'd rather play Notre Dame. Look, I'm being
even a
serious.
second time.
I wouldn't from an entertainment standpoint and anticipation.
I know.
You're never going to get tired of playing Notre Dame. There was something about the fact that A&M went on the road into their house, beat them, and then was going to be potentially asked to do it a second time. Something about that didn't sit right with me. When I saw Alabama OU as that matchup, I thought they were going to jump Notre Dame over Bama to prevent the double rematch
and have us play
Bama OU, A&M Notre Dame,
which frankly
and
I
then
would have
have
been fine with that. They've been
Bama. Yeah, I agree. I would rather play Bama than Miami as well.
Yep.
But that flip I thought was going to happen. I'm okay with Miami being in it. I think if they're choosing between Miami and Notre Dame, it should be Miami.
Yeah, that has to matter.
Now, to me, it doesn't have to matter unless the resume is close enough. And I know they kept hiding behind that. Well, they're in the same pot. That sounded so stupid, and you could tell that they purposefully adjusted it. But if you look at their body of work and their resumes, they should not have had to have adjusted it that late. They should have been closer earlier in the season. Look, Miami has 2, I think, bad losses. Louisville's not bad. It's not good. They have and neither is SMU. Neither of them are bad. Neither of them are good.
They had a heinous game against a pretty mediocre team. Which was the four-pick game.
And Notre Dame's losses were to A&M and Miami, 2 teams that are in the playoff. But one of them happened to be Miami. If you put any other team in that loss column, and it's 2 10-2 teams, and Notre Dame's 2 are 2 playoff teams, it ain't even close. It is not even close. I've seen some Miami smack about A&M's schedule. I would say, with all due respect, because I'm going to really talk up the Hurricanes in this thing, but y'all should just shut your asses up talking about schedules.
Well, they're freaking lucky the league has a team in the playoff at all. That's how bad that league's been.
Played in a conference that Duke won. Let me repeat that. Duke won your conference.
Do we need to say anything else?
Duke won your conference, and you lost to Louisville and SMU. Okay? So don't say anything about A&M's schedule. Now, with that said, when I look at Miami, they look to me, they're the only team in the ACC that I'd say this about now. And I used to say this about Florida State when Jimbo was there. And I used to say this about Clemson when A&M was playing them back
exactly
in
what you're going to say.
They're an SEC football team.
They look like it.
Miami looks like it.
Physicality on defense.
Yeah. Defense, offense, they've got that run game going a little bit more. It's not been dominant, but it's going. Hell, they actually have an SEC quarterback, a guy that's played there his whole career, played in massive games there. Lines of scrimmage, like you said, defense, the way they hit, their physicality, A-plus playmakers at skill spots. Like this is.
It goes down to the 99 in the middle and the 0 digits on the outside. Like they look like Florida when they had it rolling.
They look great.
On defense.
When they're playing well, they look great. And
they protect the quarterback. They're physical.
11 sacks all year. They're a really good O-line. This is a damn good football team. And like I said, I think A&M would have a better chance of beating Notre Dame in a rematch. I know everybody's scared of Jeremiah Love, and well, you should be. A&M held him under 100 on 24 carries. I think if they played again, he might go for 140. I think A&M would run the ball a lot better against Notre Dame the second time around. I think Notre Dame in some spots still doesn't have like that high-end SEC level in certain spots on their team. I think Miami, there's no such weaknesses. I think Miami's weakness, Gabe, is that they are in the ACC. I think Miami's weakness is that when they beat Notre Dame, Florida, and Florida State in September, that was it. For them, for the players, Mario Cristobal had a hell of a job on his hands to get that team motivated because they know, those dudes from Florida know that they are better than every other team they're going to play on the schedule. They look and see Syracuse, they see SMU, they see Louisville, they see, I don't know if they played Wake Forest or not, but they see Wake, they see Duke, they see, you name it. They look and they don't, it's not the same to them. Even Pitt, who was a good team.
Yep.
And so what happens is
VTech's been down. You're right.
You can't do that and win 8 times against anybody. You just can't. So they had a lull. I think they had a letdown. Then they got desperate.
So are they one of the 5 best teams in America?
I think they're one of the 3 most talented. I think it's Ohio State, it's Georgia, and it's them. I think those are the 3 most talented. Now, I've talked to people at Miami that are watching A&M that are close to that program that are saying A&M's absolutely the best team we're going to play. And they're talking up the Aggie offense and the skill guys, and they're talking up the A&M defense and saying, like, these dudes are really good. They can win a national title. That's not me saying that. That's what I'm hearing out of Miami, and was not told to me to go to Twitter and sit here and say that. That's just people in conversation and what their thoughts are when they're watching A&M. So I think we need to remember that when I'm sitting here talking up Miami, and I'm talking about, what Nick Saban said about them. Guys, if you want to be scared or whatever, if that's your shtick, is to, we're going to lose. Go listen to what Pat Narduzzi said about Miami after he played them in Notre Dame. Basically said it shouldn't even be a question who's in. Miami's exponentially better than that team. With that said, I think people, Gabe, are forgetting what everyone was saying about Texas A&M prior to the Texas game. And then I think people are making a big deal. Yes, Texas pulled ahead. They were up where they were up by was 10, right? Or maybe it was 20. Yeah, 20 to 10 and 27-17.
Yeah.
They got some distance there in the second half. It's like people forget. The Aggies held that vaunted Longhorn offense to 3 points in the first half.
Yeah,
and they were up
half of football, man.
Yeah, and they were up 10-3. They had a bad half of football.
Really bad time to have your worst half of the year outside of South Carolina.
And they had 2 bad halves of football in the last 4 halves. Forget the fact that they had 2 great halves of football in those exact same games. But that has left something in people's minds. And I understand, like, if you wanted to say, yeah, but I'm just saying what I saw concerns me. And I'd say, yeah, me too.
Yeah, like did we peak in early November?
That's the question, and
Missouri,
maybe that's
right.
why 3 weeks off is exactly what this team needed. But
maybe when Marcel didn't see his name in the top 10 of the Heisman list, we're coming off South Carolina, he might have been first.
Yeah.
Heck of a motivator.
I think
there's all kinds of motivators.
I think there's all kinds, and this whole team should be really, really motivated for this one.
And I think we're better than them. I mean, maybe talent, I get you, but we're at freaking home.
This is what I'm
We're
getting.
at home. We've never experienced this before.
Yeah.
Big game dude at quarterback.
This is what I'm getting at. You're right.
Okay.
You're right. Think of Marcel in every big game except Texas this year. He's balled out. Every big situation, every big moment where he said Arkansas, South Carolina, like, hey.
I'll let you make your point, but we want to get into this.
Yeah, you have to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
And he did. All the times except Texas. Down at halftime against
Got
LSU.
no reason to believe he won't.
So to me, like, as I say all this about Miami, people have forgotten that you can focus on what Nick Saban said, and Miami can win a national title. Then don't forget what he said a couple weeks ago, where he said Ohio State, Indiana, and A&M look like three teams that can win it all. That's the team of the whole year, and I think people are focusing on the team of two halves.
Nothing's changed for Ohio State because they lost a game against Indiana. They can still win it all. Nothing changed with Georgia when they lost one game against Alabama, who they're clearly better than that, and proved it later in the year. Sometimes one loss, I hate it. I'd rather root for any entity in the world over Texas.
Yep.
You name the entity. I'm rooting for them.
There's a couple that I might make exceptions on. I mean, I know how the joke is. I know everybody on Twitter likes to, but there's a couple, but it's way
I hate losing to those.
It's way up on the list.
But at the same time, sometimes that swift kick in the butt, lick your paws, get 3 weeks healthier. I think we should be as healthy as we've ever been, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got guys that are, those receivers look good. Bethel Roman, I know there was a clip going around. Everybody was talking about how much he was gimping and limping around, but he's practicing, and that post went out on a Tuesday. Game's on Saturday, so I think he'll be playing and be fine. I mean, he might not be 100%, but if he was that far from it, as people in the freaked out over, I mean, I swear, man, I'm saying this. I'm not sure Mike Elko shouldn't just shut down practices altogether after some of the reaction to what people see from there and just the negativity that is born from these little clips from 15 minutes of practice.
It happened in August with 10
Marcel.
and Bussy.
Yeah, Marcel and Bussy. It was just embarrassing. But, I mean, I say that as someone that loves our coverage of it.
For sure.
I'm just saying there maybe tighten the screws a little bit. But with that said, I think he'll be, if he was not going to be playing, he wouldn't be practicing Tuesday. That's for damn sure. Usually you'd set him out, you'd wait. So I think they're healthy. Scooby was out there practicing.
That's big.
Moss is out there practicing.
Big.
Fully padded up.
Well, it's really big because they're good at shutting down that run game, right?
It's the biggest thing in the game for me, Gabe.
Yeah.
Like, who runs the football?
Yep.
It's these two quarterbacks. If they can sit there in a cleanish pocket, I don't think you're going to get it either way with Bain and Mesidor and Cassius and the rest of that A&M sack crew, because they've got, they're up there nationally at the top.
Yep.
Neither quarterback will excel or thrive in that. Now, I think Beck gets rid of the ball quicker. Marcel can scramble and run. So there are ways they can defeat, the pressure both very differently, but it's still, both of them have had stretches or games or moments where it's like, man, you're under duress. You're not being careful enough with the football. Marcel, even against LSU, 2 picks and then 5 turnovers in the last 2 SEC games. Beck, you mentioned the 4 picks against Louisville. He had a couple against
He did it against
SMU.
Georgia, too. I mean, with Georgia, if you pressure that sucker.
He had 3 picks. That big win in Austin, he had 3 picks in that game.
Yeah, I think in the first half, did he?
Yeah,
and came back. Yeah.
And so
Georgia Tech, when they got to him, he had a bunch of picks, but then rose to the occasion.
Yeah, I mean,
he's also a big moment guy.
Hey, now, come on, you watch him against. I know he threw a pick at the end there, but he was in that shootout in Tuscaloosa last year, where he looked like a top 5 draft pick, slinging that thing around, and then did the same thing. He looked really good in the opener against Notre Dame.
Yep.
So you got to pressure him. just like they got to pressure Marcel, but the way you're not going to be able to do that is if either one of these teams is running the football for 4, 5, 6 yards on first down and putting them in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 2nd and 4 or 5, play action. That's where Marcel's lethal. That's how you slow down the A&M pass rush. You wear them down because I do think the Aggies are still a little undersized up front. You can lean on them and wear on them and take away some of that juice in the fourth quarter. So who can run the football?
Absolutely.
And the scary part is A&M, after what we saw Texas do to them, and in a few games this year, they get run on. They give up big plays. So that's going to be the formula for the Aggie defense. Torian York, Damian Sanford, Scooby, the linebackers, those safeties, like, you've got to stop the run, and you've got to, if it gets past the line of scrimmage, keep those guys to, 7, 8, 9-yard gains and not these gash plays we've been seeing.
Yeah, and Fletcher, I mean, he's not a great – it's not like they're running all day on people, but they've been better of late. Yep. And when it's a short yardage thing, like when Beck gets you in a 3rd and 2 situation, they hand it to him, he's probably going to get it.
Yep.
Like 225-pound bowling ball. 10 touchdowns, too. So don't just look at their stats and you look up and see they're 77th in rushing offense. They've been better of late. Now, Beck's not a run factor, and I like us against non-run factors at quarterback. I do like that.
That's a big deal. You look at, look at what Arch did to him.
Right.
Sellers gave him some issues.
Yep. We've had trouble spying those guys.
Who else? Oh, obviously Taylor Green gave them issues. So the mobile guys have
Lagway's not mobile. And so we were able to make some
Lagway
adjustments
and Jackson
on him.
Arnold can get you on a run, but they're not going to do it. They're not like, we're scared of this throughout the course of a game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But those other guys did, and they do get they get anybody, though, but especially when you're rushing up the field trying to get at a QB.
And Beck won't do it. 39 yards and a touchdown all year.
Yeah.
Speaking of A&M,
but I like Miami's backs and O-line. And so here's the deal, Gabe. At the end of the day, Miami's going to come in here. And I'm watching all the clips. A lot of their former players do podcasts. I actually enjoy the Miami fan experience online. And I think the mayor of Miami followed me on Twitter because I replied to something with him and Uncle Luke.
Is that still Manny Diaz's dad? His dad's the mayor of Miami.
I don't think his last name was Diaz.
Okay.
But
he used to be the mayor.
Yeah. So I enjoy their smack talk. I enjoy their fans are very open about the fact how fired up they are to trip to Kyle Field. The ones that came last time loved it.
Yep.
But I'm watching these things with these former players, and they are like, we want to go in there, and they want to see the old you. And I've seen a couple of them say, I think it was Willis McGahee maybe, this is the biggest game Miami's played in years because they want to be back. They want to beat an SEC team on the road in the playoff, go play Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl on New Year's and be back. And it is. It's the biggest game for the Canes. It's the biggest game for the Aggies.
It's the biggest home game we've ever had, hands down. Outside of the Bonfire, which is in its own category. Totally different.
Yeah. From what's at stake football-wise, this is by far number one.
Well, it's 5 days to Christmas.
Nothing
We usually play games before Thanksgiving.
And 77 degrees. Give me a break.
I don't care. October weather, fine.
Come on, Mother Nature. I wanted a cold game against the Canes. But
Billy, it's not even like have you even, because you're so busy and you're gearing up for this and you're running this whole business, do you pause for a minute, walk in Griff and be like, this is unbelievable? Like, have you had a chance to do it yet? Game day's come. Like, it's the best matchup. They're going to spend 90% of the time on this game.
I'm stressed. I got so many people coming into town. The good news is a lot of them aren't coming until late Friday night because a lot of the media people are going to be in Norman.
Who gets that guest room? I'm sure you've had some requests.
I'm actually, both of them are on complete hold. I don't want anybody in the office. I don't want anybody on couches. Like, I keep it tight these days. So
good.
Only like out of state visitors.
Nice.
And I like to have just a quiet, like, I don't want to see anybody off Sunday. Hey, if you call me, I'll go meet you for brunch before you leave town or coffee. That's about it. I don't want any stragglers, let's say. So,
Yeah.
but a ton of people coming in town. It's all those media types.
Yep.
I got friends asking. It's the game, man. And that's saying something when it's OU, Alabama. This is the game. And it's the biggest game for both programs. A&M at home ever. Miami in a long, long time. So you know what you're going to get, Gabe.
Yes.
And one thing that A&M, and this is, I don't know if this is so much a concern, because I don't want to disrespect these guys and say they can't. I know they can do it, but a concern or just something that like has to happen for A&M to win. If you're an Aggie fan, or Marcel was on the field that day, I hope everyone like Regis, Marcel, who else? Was Torian playing that year, the last time A&M played Miami? Yeah, it was Jimbo's last year. So everybody in year 3 or more, they were down there. Miami whipped A&M's ass up and down the field. And I know like you're
talking about the game in Miami.
And I know A&M went up early and it felt good. And then Miami physically just beat the crap out of the Aggies. They pummeled Connor Wigman.
Wigman was incredible in that game.
He was so tough.
Yeah,
but they got physical.
Because he got whipped.
Amari was running good early. They got physical with him. They got physical with Ruben.
Yeah.
I think they hit him with a targeting over the middle of the field. Like, they physically took it to the Aggies, and I did not like the way A&M responded that day. That was different time. That was the last year under a head coaching regime that was ending. Okay, so that's always the low point. But there were a lot of dudes on that team, and so much has changed in 2 years under Mike Elko. And so much of it is in that mental and physical toughness department. That is going to be put to the test on Saturday. Because one thing I noticed about Miami, with the exception, like in the games that matter, remember, you watch two different Miami teams. There are the games that matter and the ones that don't, that they know they're going to win. And you do that against solid teams like Louisville and SMU, and you'll get beat. Then they said, uh-oh, wake-up call. But you look at them in games that matter, and one thing that stands out to me, they play hard. So Texas A&M better come out Saturday and match that intensity, that physicality, that want to. And I think they will. But that is the one thing that if they fall short, they will not win. And I think A&M is going to win this game in the 27-24, 24-20, probably 24-20.
Vegas is right on it, 3.5.
I think so.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be close.
There's a lot of things they have to do to win, because this is a very evenly matched football game, in my opinion. I think it's going to come down to like who wants it more, and that's where I do love the 12th man being behind this team, and that's going to, I think, factor in.
They could play this game at 8 a.m. This place is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
To the level we have never seen.
Yeah, I want two halves like South Carolina.
Yeah.
Not necessarily perfection from the team. I'd love to see that. But I mean, that crowd in the second half of an 11 a.m. game was absolutely 11 out of 10.
Yes. Yeah.
11 out of 10. And it needs to be like that for 4 hours.
Well, I think a huge factor is number 8 does not want to go out like this. And it was an injury. It was nothing he could have done about it. But when Le'Veon Moss played 5 full games, what it did for Casey and Craver, who are both healthy, let me just show you.
Yeah.
Game log here. Combined for 194 receiving yards in game 1, 187 in game 2, 289 at Notre Dame, 147 against Auburn, and 141 against Mississippi State. And it went way down, even against LSU, 87 total receiving yards for those two guys. At Arkansas, 93 total receiving yards. 8 was far and away our heartbeat last year. We've proven we can win without him, but a healthy Le'Veon Moss, you know more than me, but I think that's a huge factor.
Yeah, it is.
The toughness category, the will to win category, coming back, doing everything he had to do without us watching to get himself in a position to potentially impact this football game.
Yeah, it's been a tough year. It'd be so awesome to see him rolling during this playoff run. And I think that's what's so important. It beat Miami. And then what does Moss look like 12 more days from now?
Yes.
From that game?
Yep.
What does Moss against Ohio State indoors look like? Like, I think people forget when he got hurt It was the first quarter of Florida, right? Or maybe second, but I don't know what Florida's I'll say a lot of the same things I said about Miami, like their defensive talent, especially in that front seven, is like elite college football, NFL level talent up front in the trenches.
Yep.
Le'Veon was on track for a 200-yard game that day. I think he had like 48 in the first quarter when he got hurt. He was set to run wild that day.
And look what it did. We opened up a deep passing game.
Opened the game with a play action, deep shot to Craver. You're right.
Yep.
And the receivers, teams, no one's figured them. And you said all those numbers without doing rushing numbers, too. Because there's some games.
That's just how it impacts.
No, I'm saying without the receiving rushing yards.
What does it do for KC and Craver attacking the edges if Moss is doing his thing? And you got to account for Marcel.
Yeah.
Like, he's such a huge fan.
And they've got a stable to spell Moss, but there's something different about him. I'm saying, like, who are your best running backs in the SEC this year? I guess Ahmad Hardy.
I want to say him and Hardy are 1 and 2.
What's his name from Ole Miss is up.
Oh, he's so good. Lacey.
Soon to be Kwan Lacey, soon to be LSU. Unfortunately,
probably Lacey and Hardy, but a healthy Moss is right there.
Exactly,
with him.
That's my point. Like, he's every bit as good as those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they use Hardy differently in that offense. You know, you put Lacey or a healthy Le'Veon up there, they're doing similar things.
They're giving him 20 carries.
But man, Le'Veon Moss, as far as an NFL running back, that's what he is, and you're adding him to the equation this weekend. And Le'Veon Moss runs like some of these Miami running backs back in the day that you and I remember.
Like Frank Gore.
Yeah, I mean, he runs his ass off. And he's telling you, had he not had the injury last year, he's not even playing at A&M right now. He's probably a pro, third-round running back.
Yeah, look what Travion Henderson's doing.
Getting carries in the league. So he's that good. Now, the question is, how healthy is he to be at his best? But if he's 80%, it's a major impact, particularly short yardage, wear and tear on the defense, all of those things. Is
Craver healthy enough to be at his best?
Yeah, I think Craver's good. I think Craver needed that downtime.
That's huge.
Craver needed that downtime. I think he's been. When did he originally get hurt? Because it's been weeks.
He played through it for a long time.
Yeah, it's been weeks, and then he really aggravated it. I think South Carolina. He tried to come in and like barely play. So that
1 catch, 1 carry against SC.
It may have been all the way back to
Arkansas.
Florida. Yeah, I was going to say it may have been all the way back to Florida.
Yeah, 2 catches against Florida. One was that deep ball, 67 yards, and they had 40 yards against Arkansas.
He was definitely
somewhere in there.
He was definitely limping in the Florida game. So and Concepcion was limping off the field and on the field in Austin. Like all three of them, I think, were ankles, and they all three needed this break. Probably in from that sense, it was good that they didn't have to like suck it up and play through against Bama in Atlanta.
For sure. Well, we're going to dive right back into that matchup in a minute. Taking a quick pause is some couple quick hitting notes on the staff turnover just for this crew. I mean, obviously, most people that are watching this show are locked into everything you're writing. They're locked into everything you and Nuno are talking about. But it's been quite a week on that regard. I mean, you lose your OC to K-State and Klein. De facto DC Jay Bateman gets a chance to go call plays again. So he's going to Kentucky. But tight ends coach Christian Ellsworth going with Klein to Manhattan. Holman Wiggins, your receivers coach, opportunities, right? He sees Alabama's coach get a head coach. What receiver coach get a head coaching job?
Yeah.
So huge moment right there and a decision for Elko, who promotes from within.
Yeah.
And then some other turnover, some other additions along the way. Travis Williams, up and coming, incredible recruiter.
And that one is not done yet.
Okay,
that's
being reported.
That's like imminent.
Okay,
yeah, but I mean that's certainly.
I'm excited about
that's certainly who they've targeted. And,
yeah,
and I think that's going to happen. It hasn't yet.
And then Lyle Hemphill, who's getting a chance to promote from within. What do you think about just the way Elko's responding to good things happening to his assistant?
I think Elko believes he's always trying to think one step ahead, and I think he believes unless he doesn't, and then you wouldn't see this. Like,
right?
You're not always going to hit it. He's taking a risk with Holman Wiggins. He can go out and hire somebody, and he made calls and he had conversations with other OCs, and checked out what was out there in his mind, and he felt like the best thing was to keep this thing going forward. He liked where the offense was at, and knows Holman very well. This is not a defensive coach that ignores the offense and just is locked in with the defense. So he's well aware of what Holman Wiggins, how knowledgeable he is within the offense. Sometimes you get these coaches on either side of the ball that they are just recruiters. And they do, like, you might have a D-line coach that knows nothing about the back end, and you might have a receivers coach that knows really, like, God, imagine if that guy ever had to call plays. We'd be screwed. Like, that's happened sometimes. And then there's times when you're like, oh, I've got a future OC coaching my wide receivers right now. And that's how he felt about Holman. And look, there is a risk, without question, on someone that's never called plays. He's called plays in the spring game and stuff. I think all you can really tell out of that is, I think Elko could go back and hey, did I like the game he called or not? Certainly.
Sure.
But also one thing it could tell you, even though it's just a spring game, is like the operation, how you handle the process of getting the play in, how quickly, how decisive are you, things like that. You could get at least a little look in, but you don't know till you know. So that's the negative. The positive is the players love him. Elko believes in it, to the point, like, I know, guys, everybody's going, oh, I don't know, you could have done this, that, and the other. Two things I'll say is, number one, if you think you know that, do you think Mike Elko doesn't know that and is not aware of that? I think he just said, you know what, I'm going to do this because I'm just going to be a nice guy. I'm going to be a nice guy and promote. No, he believes in it. And whether it works or not, he believes in it. And he knows he had options. He knows he could have gone out. And he knows he could have gone and clamored for money. You know who else did that? Dabo Sweeney did that with Garrett Riley. And I still had Aggies telling me the A&M should go after Garrett Riley. Why? Because you remember him at TCU. He's about to destroy Dabo Sweeney's career, that hire.
Or will Dabo destroy his career by not getting portal pieces?
To take all, but that offense sucks.
Yeah,
it has been terrible there. I don't think Jimbo believed in it, and that when he like everybody wanted him to hire, and I just don't think Jimbo believed in it. And you can say what you want about Jimbo. He might have been too involved in the offense, but you look at what Petrino did with Arkansas's offense in his whole career. That hire should have worked.
Yeah.
The other part is Jimbo.
Injuries
the other guy Jimbo
Petrino's
won.
Ability here too.
Yeah, but the other guy Well, listen, Gabe, we go on all day.
I know.
Lack of receivers hurt the ability too.
Absolutely.
Look at who
you're going to have receivers with Holman Wiggins.
Yeah. So you look who A&M's got now. But
that's no doubt.
Jimbo also wanted Ryan Grubb. All that and Garrett Riley, but the whole country and all of Aggie fandom wanted Garrett Riley at this massive price tag. And I'll give you a little example even more close to home. A guy by the name of John Chavis.
You better believe it.
You passed up a young up-and-comer named DJ Durkin. You're going to have Durkin and Greg Madison, veteran from Michigan, come and be co-DCs. And who was up there with Harbaugh at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, you went with the big splash and the big name, and I was right there with everybody celebrating it. So were you.
Sure. You better believe it.
And it was John Chavis, and it was
somebody wrote a poem about it. Remember the night before Chavis?
Yeah. Was it a poem or was it a?
It was a bedtime story.
Somebody really wrote one.
Oh yeah,
I thought I wrote an article the night before. Anyway,
pretty creative.
So that's my point in this. You just never know, and Elko understands. Like, hey, I got so. And then defensively, it's a lot different because it's Mike Elko's defense.
It's lockstep,
and he hired a guy that was, I think, promoted a guy that was in more lockstep with his defense. And they got dudes now. They got dudes on staff that are likely, in my opinion, I think you'll see a promotion at QB's coach. I've been saying that. So when that comes out, people try to, the agent world will go and, oh, we broke the, they find out through the agents now, all these national guys. I'm just telling you. I'm seeing like Lynch at QBs, and I'm seeing, people forget they took a guy from Temple last year, like Hemphill. Same week, they hired a couple of veteran football coaches, background with the Houston Texans, and he was assistant receivers coach this year. So when Holman slides into play calling duties, you'll just see his responsibility increase with the receivers a little more. But this is a guy, I talked to Leckler about him Mississippi State weekend because Leck didn't even know he was on staff here. He
Oh, wow.
absolutely raved about him. So
he was with the Texans that long ago.
Yeah, so Elko does a great job of kind of planning ahead. And that doesn't mean he won't bring in outside guys. Look at a linebacker hire. Look at, if they lose any D-line coaches, I think he'll go outside and there won't be some like bounce up deal. And, the one to watch now in the next few days will be Jordan Peterson in K-State because I don't think it's much secret that Colin Klein has him targeted and pegged as his first DC up there in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, a couple things. If it was all about promoting the recruiter, he would have done that with Elijah. So he's already proven he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And Eric Morris wasn't Eric Morris until he got an opportunity.
Yeah.
That's one example out of hundreds.
It worked for Ohio State this year.
Exactly. Hardline finally got his chance to
I
call
get
plays.
it. They got great players. Well, guess what? I mean, A&M's got Marcel and Craver and ABR and Bussy and Jerome Miles and Aaron Gregory and Madden Williams. They got
you forget
guy
about
that
Miles.
You might be receiver named Brown, old wide receiver, freshman that's coming in putting up massive numbers. That receiving core, your running back stable, it's going to be a lot of young guys. It'll be interesting to see if they do a portal shot or if that veteran is one veteran and Ruben Owens enough. But they got a lot to work with. So, like I said, it worked at Ohio State this year. And it works a lot of places where they promote a guy from a position coach to OC.
All right, good stuff, Billy. All right, buy, sell, rent, playoff edition. Buy, sell, rent, playoff edition. And then we'll zip right back into this preview and close it out here. It's presented by 12 Oaks Reserve, an all-new master plan luxury community coming to West Bryan next to Traditions. This place is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Only 32 thoughtfully planned, spacious home sites, very colonial plantation-style architecture. Nothing like this anywhere close. You got to go to like East Shore or the Woodlands to get the closest thing, even close to this. Think Garden District in New Orleans, but 2026 construction. It's going to be fantastic.
Wow.
Bach Realty Group handling sales. Reach out to us. Come on. Let's get it going. It's going to be great. All right. Looking at specifically the 12 playoff teams, not counting A&M, who are you buying right now, Billy, heading into it? Not just this weekend, but overall.
In the playoff?
Yeah. Who are you buying? Who do you feel really good about right now, other than A&M?
I'm kind of buying – I'm buying Oregon a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a feeling.
I think you'd say that.
I don't like their schedule. I don't think they should be ranked 5th because of their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I mean, like, I know sometimes but
this yours.
I think their path. I think they can get by Tech. I think that's kind of a toss up, but I like Oregon in that one. So I think they can get by Tech. And I think they'd give Indiana all they want. I could actually see them winning a rematch against Indiana.
Yeah.
Indiana took a big blow. People talked about it for a couple of days, but they lost a stud defensive end during that weird celebration. It wasn't even weird. He was just like jumping up, high-fiving. You could see his knee buckle.
Yikes.
Done for the year. And he leads the team, I think, in TFLs.
Oof.
I like Oregon's an interesting team to me. Plus, maybe their part of me just wants them to keep Tech out of making that run that so many people are trendily picking.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to pick Tech until I see their lines of scrimmage against real teams, particularly their O-line against real teams. Their D-line, I think you see it, you know it, you see it.
Mm-hmm.
And Utah does have a good O-line, and they wrecked them.
Yeah, 2 potential first-round picks on the O-line.
Yeah,
right?
now they don't have – I would question those first-round picks, too, with the level that they got their asses whipped in that game. But that's just
true.
me. But
I like that pick.
But, yeah, I like Oregon.
Okay.
And I think the team that seems to be rolling in with the most momentum, like right now, to me, even though Indiana had that big win over, it's Georgia.
That's the easy pick.
They look like if you made me pick a team to win it, I'll go Georgia.
$100 right now on the table. If I had to pick one, I'm picking the Dogs.
Yeah, I would do.
They got that offense more explosive. Really, it was the inclusion of Noah Thomas.
Yeah,
it's what kind of did it. And then Frazier in the
Frazier's been running like a dog.
Yeah, Branch is really good. I think.
And Gunnar Stockton's just gotten better. That's honestly that is the biggest part. Is he's just gotten better and better and better.
Yeah, yes. No, I agree. That's the low hanging fruit. And their defense
has improved.
They've allowed 9 points total in their last 4 games. Come on. And I know one was Charlotte, but 10 to Texas, 9 to Georgia Tech, and 7 to Bama. I mean, less than 30 points total in their last 4 games. They played fourth stringers against Charlotte and gave up 3. I'm just saying, I know it's Charlotte.
Forget Charlotte, but yeah, those other 3.
Yeah,
1 touchdown to Texas.
Yeah, dominated Texas.
1 to Bama.
Yeah.
And none to Georgia Tech or 1?
No, 9 points total.
Yeah, was that
3 field goals, I think. Yeah, I think it was. So to me, they're the hottest team by far heading into it.
Yeah, they are.
All right, selling. Who are you selling going into this?
I'm still – this is an interesting sell because I think they have one of the best units in this playoff. I think Texas Tech, again, let them get tested. I think Texas Tech and OU are on the short list of like best units in the playoff is that both of their defenses. Again, Tech not nearly as proven as Oklahoma's is.
For sure.
But I just think their offense stinks so bad. Like, I could see OU getting by Bama just because they've beaten them twice already. And I think OU would give Indiana some problems because I just think it'd be hard for Indiana to score a bunch on them. So it might look a lot like the Ohio State game.
Muddy it up, Mendoza makes a mistake.
Or just whatever. Mateer makes one play. Satania.
That's right.
But they struggled way too much against LSU with everything on the line for my taste. That Alabama game, you play that 10 times, Alabama play not those two teams play. The way that game unfolded, 9 times out of 10, Alabama's going to win it. They had 3 turnovers to none for OU. One was they had a missed field goal right before half. They had a pick 6 that was like a long pick 6 as Bama was driving. Ty Simpson was carving them up. Ryan Williams fumbled the ball. I forget if that was they might have fumbled a punt return too, which is always like a massive swing. There was a lot that went into all of that, and I think Alabama outgained them by close to 200 yards, and still they lost by only 2.
Is that when Jam got hurt for good?
Yeah. So, and look, LT Overton's out. That's big.
It is big.
But
I'm selling Bama.
I saw a funny picture, by the way, pop up on my phone the other day. It was me and 2 current Alabama starters at the desk, decked out in maroon and white. It's like an interview I did with with Cam Dewberry and LT Overton at the same time. So it's me and the 2 Bama starting linemen.
Gosh.
You're selling Bama. I get it. So we're basically selling the loser of this game.
Yeah. I mean, I think because Ty is a shell of himself when he's got too much to worry about.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a run game. That he hadn't been able to get Ryan Williams involved enough, which is probably mostly on Ryan Williams.
I wonder about Ryan Williams. Like, would you be excited about him in the portal?
Of course.
I would too.
Because Holman Wiggins factor.
But that's not a all boom thing to me. But I do
give me Cam Coleman and let him wear Jordan brand.
It's just weird to say if you put him in this offense, I just feel like Ryan Williams would eat.
Oh,
but yet it's a Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb offense. We're talking about him not being with Ty Simpson.
Sometimes you just get in the doghouse. You know,
weird.
He's so freaking.
We're talking out loud because I do think the Aggies go big game hunting in the portal, and Cam Coleman's going to be.
Oh man,
I had someone call me and say they think it's A&M or Texas for Cam Coleman. I didn't put a whole lot of stock.
Does it hurt us that he signed with Nike?
I don't know how that works anymore.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like,
crazy.
Can you finagle that and get him an exemption?
Get him on the track team, then he can wear Nike.
Yeah, I have no idea.
If Pat Henry can do it, Cam Coleman can do it.
Yeah, I have no idea. But
and say, Marcel, you want to sign with Jordan Brand? You wear Nike too.
You got to go get an absolute star again because you saw what that means, and you pair that with Craver.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're speaking of Casey Concepcion.
Yeah.
All this talk about Malik Henry, right? You get all this talk about him, and I said, why do I keep saying, who the hell is Malik Henry?
I was wondering who you're talking about.
Who is Malik? Is Malik Henry's a quarterback? Is he not?
Yeah, he was at from Auburn to Liberty to the Titans to probably playing arena ball someplace.
Because he was a first round pick out of Liberty,
like a top 5 pick.
He survived Auburn
and
Liberty and Hugh Freeze to be a first-round pick.
When Freeze was bedridden in a hospital bed in the press box.
I have no idea why. I've done this 3 times this week, but Malachi Toney.
Oh, man. He's good.
And Casey Concepcion are 2 of the most electric players in college football. And Toney, as a freshman, like, they're already talking about him as a top 5 type pick when his time comes. But he is such a – like, you watch him, and athletically, he is at the top of the food chain. It's like – I think he pops more than Cam Coleman does. In terms of just like more of like what he can do in the short game versus Cam Coleman. Like, to me, if he gets over the top, he's just an absolute monster. You throw the ball up, but
he had that one-handed catch in his first ever college game, right? Was that the one that beat Notre Dame?
Yeah. That snag right before halftime.
And they were just feeding it to him.
Hey, and by the way, if he doesn't make that catch, then this playoff looks a lot different. I mean, I know it was right before halftime, but that was a huge play. There right before that, but he's just been.
He's on a heater too. If you looked at his game log,
that has been that and getting that running game going a little bit.
Over 12 catches for over 125 yards in each of his last 2 games coming in, so he's hot.
They're just going to get him the ball, and you can't stop it. So but that's how A&M needs to be with Concepcion and Craver. If you have to swing it out to them, get that kind of extended running game going, you need to do that.
Yep.
They're going to get the ball to Toney no matter what.
Making it quick, I'll rent Tech.
You can't let him be the best player on the field.
That's right. Let's circle it back. We're done with that. But I was going to rent Tech. I was going to rent Tech. Not buy, but I think they've got a little bit of a manageable run here.
I do too.
Oregon, Indiana. I get Indiana as number 1. But come on. They've never done this before. Neither's Tech, but Tech's got players.
I'm going to rent. See, this is what I don't want to do. I'd rent Miami. I will rent the winner of this game.
Yeah.
So if Miami were to win, I would really be interested in them in Ohio State. Same thing with A&M and Ohio State. And I had somebody that I trust more than me last night who, again, no ties to Texas A&M in any capacity or football, even in this part of the country. But they said they think the winner of this game is going to beat Ohio State straight up. Now, I think we might be selling Ohio State a little short. We did the podcast the other day, and Amanda said, "Do you remember what happened with Ohio State last year?" Yeah, I just don't think they're as good as that team was last year. But then she countered and said, "Are the teams in their path as good?" It's a great point.
Yeah,
they beat Tennessee. Actually. They beat Tennessee, then they beat Texas, or no,
Oregon,
Tennessee, then Oregon. A really good Oregon.
They were the number 1 seed.
Then Texas, who was damn good last year, infinitely better than they are this year, and then Notre Dame. So, yeah, I don't think that path would be as daunting. So it's a great point.
Yeah.
But I watched them, and I heard Bear Felica talking about it this week, and I agree. I've been saying this. There's something a little bit off and missing, a little off with that Ohio State offense to me against some of the best teams they play. Indiana, Texas, even Michigan for a lot of that game. So, I'm with you though. I'm going to rent the winner of Saturday's game.
I like that play.
I think the winner of Saturday's game would give Ohio State a problem, and I think indoors in a dome, they as good as Georgia's playing when you have these gaps. I think they could match up, and don't forget half of Georgia's games have been really, really close.
They play a lot,
including Georgia Tech.
Yeah, exactly.
So. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. And committees never give A&M any favors. This is in any sport. You can go back to the high man explosion at baseball, and you go back to not getting in the tournament and then getting screwed over the next year because we griped, and now you go back to this. But I like that we're in the Cotton Bowl.
You know what I like, Gabe?
Yeah.
I love that they're in the Cotton Bowl if they win.
Absolutely.
What I like is Mike Elko's not complaining.
I love that.
Hyman complained.
Yep.
Buzz took it way beyond complaining, whatever that was.
Borderline.
I didn't hate it because you're like rooting for you.
But it was 20 minutes.
You have those. It was a study, like a case study he put together. That was
17 pages.
17-page study.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's ridiculous.
So that part, but I like that Elko's not complaining.
Mm-hmm.
He's complaining about the process. Like, hey, he's saying what every coach in college football agrees with.
Clarity.
Yeah. But he's like, line it up. Look, Texas A&M gets a chance to play Miami, the U, at Kyle Field, with the whole college football world watching. They had the same opportunity against LSU, and they took advantage of it. They had the same opportunity against Notre Dame, and they took advantage of it. They weren't able to do it against Texas, but they've done it this year more than once, and they're getting a crack to do it at home. Mm-hmm. And the 12th man is hungry, man, hungry. What we haven't talked enough about, I don't think, is this when the Aggies have the ball.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's get into it.
What you got next?
I think that because we're got to do our dog of the week, who we predict, and Easton leads you perfectly into that question. Yeah. So let's do Easton's corner. Okay. We're diving into it. Advantages. We'll start when A&M's got the football on offense. But here's Easton's corner, and then a question for Billy that leads perfect into that conversation. Oh, you're good.
This is Easton's corner, and we finally made the playoffs. We have a playoff game at Kyle Field against Miami. It's going to be a little tough. I think it's not going to be as tough as Notre Dame, because Notre Dame is really good. They got like Jeremiah Love, CJ Carr. Their defense is pretty good. Now Miami, they do have like Ruben Bain, Carson Beck. Carson Beck hasn't been that good, but he's had his moments. So Miami's going to be tough if we don't show up to play, like how we didn't show up against South Carolina. But I think that we have the hardest path to the playoff while being a 7 seed. It's really hard. You have to play Miami first round. Then you got to go to Ohio State, which is going to be really hard. Then you either have to play Ole Miss, because Ole Miss is going to be Tulane. Then you either have to play Ole Miss or Georgia. That's really hard. Then championship, you just play whoever wins on that side. We are on the hardest side of the bracket. We have the hardest seed to play, because you could say Oklahoma all you want. Alabama's not that good. And they play Indiana. I don't care that Indiana beat Ohio State. I do think Ohio State is better than Indiana. They just didn't really show up to play. We have a really hard path to the playoffs, but I do think we can do it. I think we can beat Miami. Ohio State, after coming off way too much rest, like 3 or 4 weeks off, that's way too much. I think we can beat them. We probably need Ole Miss to beat Georgia, because Georgia's coming off hot. They have been beating everyone with intense. Like, it's not even close. Beating Alabama by 21 when Alabama owns you is crazy. So we really need Ole Miss to win that. Then we can definitely beat Ole Miss, show why we should be ahead of them, then go play for the national championship. So, if we beat Miami, it was definitely a really dumb decision by Ohio State to pick the Cotton Bowl, because the Cotton Bowl's in Dallas, and you already know a lot of A&M fans have already bought Cotton Bowl tickets. We're going to be packing the stadium. There's going to be way more A&M fans than Ohio State. Now, my question for you, Billy, is what does A&M need to do to beat Miami and go play in the Cotton Bowl against Ohio State?
There you go. I'm not sure Ohio State actually picked the Cotton Bowl, but, you got to protect yourself against Miami potentially being in the Orange Bowl if they got past this game.
I don't know how that – I don't trust anything Yurichek says.
No.
He said that, so I don't even know if that's accurate. Okay.
Oh, your mic fell, Billy. You can just hold it. You got it there someplace? Yeah. There you go. No, you're exact 100%. 100%
yeah,
right,
so
but.
I think what do they got to do to beat Miami? Man?
Yeah, let's get into it then. Yep.
Talked earlier.
How about when A&M's got the ball, what do we got to do? To move the ball, and these guys are very, very good defensively.
They give up 13 freaking points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be serious. Yeah. They've played 12 games. They give up 13 a game. Yep. Are we kidding here?
And it's real. I mean, their defense looks the part. They play the part.
Yeah. It's like Tech. You don't see them, but Miami's played much better competition than Texas Tech. Okay, they played Notre Dame, who would be times 100. These morons in the Big 12, these Big 12 truthers. Like, put BYU up against Notre Dame and watch what happens.
Oh,
Like, that's the best team you played was BYU? Put BYU against Notre Dame. Hell, I'd say let Florida and BYU play. 4-win Florida early in the season before they gave up. A 4-win Florida until mid-October. Put them up.
Oh, yeah. Florida beat Texas when they were
Give
down.
Georgia all they wanted. Beat Texas. You know, like, so had Miami, that was 13-6, 13-6, 13-7 game with 5 minutes left. So, but Miami has played Notre Dame, played Florida. They played, South Florida, but I don't think that's much of a threat offense. And then they played Florida State, who beat Alabama. Throw in Pitt, throw in SMU, Louisville. Like, SMU and Louisville would be like right there with Utah as the second. They would all compete for the second best team that Tech played all year.
Yeah.
Those teams would have competed for an SEC, a Big 12 title. Now, they also would have competed for an ACC title and did.
Two things can be true. The ACC can stink, and Miami's defense can still be legit. They're not only nasty, but they're experienced. Almost all of them.
They've played some quality opponents and shut them the hell down. And
that's right.
It's real when you see it, like you said. Just like Tech's defenses. When you see it, it's real. That's going to be a tough group to move the ball on. The Aggies have to. You have no choice. They have to be able to have some success running the football or they will not win. And that's where Le'Veon Moss comes in. And by the way, that's where Reuben Owens, he had a rough game in Austin. He should be like 1,000% like hungry to say, I don't want my season to end. I want to go out. And I'm not calling out, but because they've been great all year. That O-line got their butts whipped in Austin. First time I'd say that this year in 12 games. Pretty damn good to go 11 out of 12.
I don't see it happen in 2 games in a row.
They did not win that battle at all. And they should be pissed off. And they should be really, really motivated and motivated by even the fear of not performing and what that means. Because that group can win or lose you this football game because that's how good Bain and Mesidor and really their whole defensive front.
That's right.
They will get after your ass. And if they get inside pressure on Marcel, that is when he does not, that's to me. Like Marcel can step up and under and around or run the other way, run away from that edge pressure. It's when he can't step up and outside.
Yeah.
And so, like,
you watch some tape on Ahmad Moten, he's like built like Bobby Brown.
They're studs.
He's got 7 tackles for loss. Yeah.
They're the whole D-line. And it is people, I feel like Aggie fans are looking at Bain with like the 4.5 sacks. And they're going, just go watch the Miami game, man. When that team's dialed up and getting after it, watch that defensive line. And so the Aggie O-line has to play their best game of the year. And they should be doubly motivated because of what happened in Austin and because of what's in front of them. And I think they will. But that's how they win the game. And you look at the Aggies, go look at their rushing yards, Gabe, against when they were at their best offensively, LSU, even Missouri, where it was harder earned. And that's what I could see happening with Miami. Like what Mississippi State, Missouri, Florida, like you earn that throughout the game. You earn that rushing yard. And so A&M was going like 180 to 200 plus. Auburn's a great example. And I think Klein may have even pointed out that Auburn defense in a comparison.
Ran for 207 in that game.
Yeah, and that's hard-earned 207. Was that Moss going for like 140?
Yeah.
130 something. That was a hard-earned because Auburn's really good defensively. And I don't think Marcel ran for a whole bunch in that game either. So those aren't like skewed numbers. So
ran all day on State, ran all day on LSU without Moss and Mizzou.
And Arkansas, though, the big one got called back. But that to me is A&M's got to run the football, period. And if they do, I think they'll win.
Yeah.
I think they'll win. I think Marcel will have more time than expected. He'll be more accurate down the field. And then at the end of the day, Concepcion and Craver, have to outduel Tony.
That's right.
Period. Like, I know Miami's got other receivers, like that can make plays. Marion can make plays.
Yep.
But Concepcion and Craver, they have to be like really dynamic.
Yeah.
Because Tony will be. No matter what you try to do, he will be.
Oh, yeah.
So one of those two, but really the tandem, I think those two need to have their first game in a while where they're both like up over 80 yards, maybe even 200-yard days for them. But that, again, starts with running the football in time for Marcel to throw.
Bryce Fitzgerald has 4 picks out there on the edge. He's just a freshman. I'd love to see, and they don't give up a lot of deep stuff. I think I looked it up, 3rd in the country in allowing fewer 40-yard plays. Like, they don't give up 30 and 40-yard plays. 17th in the country at allowing 20-yard plays. But that's what we're specialists at, especially when you get Moss and the run game going, and their lead dog on the outside is a true freshman. Challenge him. I know he's got 4 picks. Challenge him.
As good, yeah, I agree. And their defense, sometimes their DBs will have a hard time. They'll kind of lose track of the ball. And that's an advantage when you got guys like Craver and Concepcion running around out there in ABR.
Yeah.
Tight ends need to be a factor in this one, too. That's when A&M's at their best.
That's right.
The offense at its best when the tight ends factor in. It helps. It's a real security blanket for Marcel. They've operated it under Klein where at times it feels like a run game. Just because it's vertical in front of you, you don't think it's like the extended run game, but those are a lot of times easy throws right underneath. You're going to get 6 or 7. If you're fortunate, you get more, but that's like, they know that's if they know that's there, they'll eat there. Man, like I was thinking of something you were saying. Oh, so this is the deal with this. Is Carson Beck the best quarterback A&M's going to play this year? On a good day?
Yeah. Carson Beck at his best is better than Lagway at his best. And Taylor Green is probably the most dynamic. Mm-hmm. But Taylor Green has some clunkers.
Yeah.
He's really good in there when we played him.
Pure quarterback, like.
Yeah, because Sellers was fool's gold this year.
Best passer. I don't know. Arch had a good game, but Arch completed less than 50% in that game. Somebody called him a mallard merchant. He throws so many ducks, but he can run and he just hangs in and wins. He beat A&M. I mean, he did it.
We'll look back and say Carr was, but not freshman 3rd game in Carr.
Yeah. I think Carson Beck might be at the top.
Yeah.
It's not, they hadn't, on paper going in, Nussmeier. Hell, you like Shapin was like, oh, that guy's pretty good. Jackson Arnold, you didn't know what he was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But you had Nuss, Lagway, Arch,
Sellers.
Mm-hmm. Those 4 you thought would have been 1 to 4. Like, wow, that's a gauntlet.
Yeah, and Green always scares you. Yep.
It wasn't in Green, yeah.
Yeah.
But he might be best pass rusher. I mean, Bain, Colin Simmons, Dylan Stewart.
Yeah.
Those guys are all right up there at the top.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Malachi Toney, best receiver. Very possible.
Him and Coleman. Yeah.
Defense in general, probably the best defense.
I'd say so.
O-line, D-line, line of scrimmage. I'd say them or Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Probably Miami. We saw what happened at the line of scrimmage. So my point is, I think it's the best team they've played all year. Now, here's the other thing. I think A&M's the best team Miami's played all year. I mean, hell, that's simple math.
It is. Yeah.
It was Notre Dame, and A&M went on the road and beat Notre Dame.
The next week.
And you can say Notre Dame looks good and everything, but remember, Notre Dame played no one outside of USC the rest of the year. Like, it was a complete fraud of it. Again, when no one was talking about schedules, Miami's schedule is ass outside of September. Notre Dame's schedule outside of A&M Miami stunk. Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State, all of them in the regular season, everyone was calling out A&M's, which was still so weird to me that they chose because of a line that you could draw in the SEC standings, and people are so freaking stupid and unintelligent and just groupthink. And it's not even unintelligent. It's just there's such groupthink, shock value, yell and scream. Let me post a graphic on Twitter that it never occurred to them to try to apply that and compare it across that top 10.
No, our resume stacks up.
So A&M is the best team Miami's played. It's KC, Concepcion, and Craver. That's the best 1-2 receiving punch they've played. Mm-hmm. Marcel Reed, I think he's the best quarterback they've played.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's
I mean,
better than anybody in the ACC.
Is it him or Carr, and then the ACC, and they didn't.
Yeah,
even,
Carr was a freshman, his first game.
So, best quarterback they've played, best offensive line they've played, probably the best defensive line they've played.
Exponentially the best atmosphere they'll be in all year.
That too.
Malachi
matters.
has never been into this. Now, he's a dog. I get it. But Carson Beck's been into it before, but he hadn't seen it this year with that group.
I like A&M in this thing, Gabe, really close. I think they got dealt a brutal hand, but so did Miami. I think Miami would rather seen Alabama. I think they'd have rather seen Notre Dame again. I think they'd have rather seen OU and figured out that defense. But Miami's defense against the OU offense, the Sooners are scoring 10 or less. I think.
Oh, yeah.
So for all the things we're saying, it always goes back to what I always say. Apply the same microscope. So if you're a Miami fan watching this, and if you're an Aggie fan that's hearing me say all this great stuff about Miami, apply the same thing. Miami, I'm just telling you, A&M is a massive hurdle and roadblock for the Hurricanes. They have to come to Kyle Field and play against a team that throughout the course of the year was I don't think there's a question when you do the whole season. A&M is one of the two best teams in the SEC. I think over the course, the body of work, if you just watch the games, I think they're better than Alabama. I think they'd be favored in a game against them right now. And I think they're who else? Who's the other? Ole Miss. Ole Miss A&M are, I think, similar. And
okay, but Ole Miss right now and A&M right now?
Today minus Kiffin. I think Miami got a brutally tough draw, just like A&M did. I think both teams are really good in a lot of the same areas. And I think this is going to be a classic case of just who has the most willpower, who wants it more, and who breaks for it. It's like Mike Elko during his first offseason, watching one of the offseason workouts. And these guys, they do a bunch of individual drills where it's one-on-one. And it was interesting early on because the guys out of the portal, you want to talk about changing culture, these portal guys were winning up and down on these battle of wills of just how bad do you want this? And what are you trained to, how hard are you trained to work? What do you, and now it's not that way. Now portal guys come in and A&M's bar internally is set on. But what they do, one of the things they do is you go and it's under the lineman blocking, that's not a tent, but canopy, canopy.
Yep.
So you're under there, so you got to squat down to a very low level. So you're in a full squat almost, and you're holding I don't know how much, maybe it's 25s for the skill guys, 45 for the linemen, but you're holding a plate out straight armed in front of you. I'm holding the mic like that. Full squat, holding it up, and you're from me to you in front of your opponent. And it's one-on-one, and it's whoever lets that weight down first loses. That's what this football game is going to be.
Yeah.
You're going to stare Miami in the face, and they're going to stare you in the face, and it is going to be who can hold that weight up the longest, who has the most willpower, who wants to get to Dallas, Arlington, wherever the hell that stadium is, and play in Cowboy Stadium against Ohio State.
Yes.
That's it, man. And how could you want more as a football fan, as an A&M fan,
that's right,
as a Miami fan? Both teams feel like they need this game in the worst way.
Yeah.
Elko, Mario Cristobal, both of them.
Yeah, and the spoils too. When you win, now you just beat Miami. You didn't beat James Madison or Tulane, and then people are still like, "Oh yeah, but this is just another branch in A&M's schedule this year."
Yeah, I don't
go beat the U.
That's a great point, and I've said that same thing. I don't care. I want to play in the second round, so we have our New Year's all handled and taken care of for that spotlight. This spotlight is just as big as that one will be for this game because it's Miami. Because you have a real team coming in here, and it is a premier program in college football. To to beat a Tulane or a James Madison would mean all it would mean was, like you said, it would be people would go, oh, you'd almost have to beat Ohio State at that point or whoever you're playing in the second round because you'd almost have to prove something. It would mean nothing. If I said, well, A&M won a playoff game this year, that's great, and they would have been 12-1 going in, and that's awesome. But we would all know that they won a playoff scrimmage. Now it counts because you earn that seed. Really, I think A&M
we did earn
that seed and not get it.
Yep.
But man, like you said, if you beat Miami and you got skins on, you add a Miami sticker to that chair, and it's got Miami, LSU, and Notre Dame, not to mention Auburn and Florida, and then a ranked Missouri. Like those things mean something. I know people try to take away, but the only two that would stand out, like if you beat Notre Dame, LSU, and Miami in the same year.
2 of those on the road and 1 in the playoff. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's close with this thing because if you're going to do it, you're going to need some dogs to rise to the occasion. It's going to take the entire team, everything else. We mentioned all the keys. But who's rising to the occasion on both sides of the ball? Dog of the week going into this matchup presented by Dogleg Golf. College Station's newest indoor golf simulator facility. Whether you're looking to practice your swing, play a full round with friends, or just hang out and have some fun, you can play Augusta National, Pebble Beach, you name it. Pinehurst number 2, you can do that. You're 5 minutes from TexAgs. You can get over there and play that and kill some time because you're all amped up getting ready for this game. It's a good way to do it. Dogleg's got you covered. They got top-line simulators, comfortable bays, laid-back atmosphere. Perfect for golfers of all levels. Rain or shine, always tee time at Dogleg, 2551 Texas Avenue South, Suite E1 between Brown Shoe Store and 40 Tempura. Go online, Dogleg, that's LEGG -golf.com. Offensive pick, who is your dog of the week? Who rises to the occasion? This is your prediction and is the dog of the week for A&M. Not just your player to watch, but you feel really good about it.
I think it's Marcel Reed. I think this is one of them deals where, like, people are, hey, Marcel, people are doubting you, and they shouldn't, and they are.
Yep.
And they did this summer, and you responded and showed up. And they did, last year when you had to come off the bench and go start at the Swamp, and you showed up. This is one of those times. And yeah, I mean, outshine Carson Beck, win this game. Like, I think for me, if A&M's to do real damage in this playoff, it's Marcel Reed. And what happens is all those other candidates for dog of the week get to shine because he's playing at that level.
Yeah.
My second one, though, is going to be that Aggie offensive line has to get it done. And Marcel can only be as good as the guys blocking in front of him. But I think Marcel's my dog of the week. And then on defense, talk about Marcel, his struggles in Austin, the team struggles in Austin. Cassius Howell had a very quiet night in Austin. Very quiet night, shockingly quiet.
Yeah, he did.
And then since then, he's won SEC Defensive Player of the Year. He's been named a first-team All-American. He's had an incredible journey from Bowling Green to here, really as a high school recruit to here. He is a dog. He has been all season. They need Cassius Howell to be the best defensive lineman on the field on Saturday.
And Beck's such a tough customer. He's so hard to get to, hit.
Make it a nightmare for Carson Beck because, again, he's not used to that. He's not been used to that this year.
Absolutely.
I don't think they've played a quality defense months.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to get after him.
I mean, he's only been sacked 9 times. You don't have to sack him, but if you force him to make some errors, he's thrown 2 or more picks against 2 Power 4 teams this year, and they lost both those games. 2 against SMU, 4 against Louisville.
I think you got to sack him too, though. That's what this defense does. You got to defy those statistics. But by the way, here's the thing. Again, I go back to it ain't just about Miami. It's about A&M too.
Mm-hmm.
And Miami's got to get to Miami. So they've only given up 9 sacks. How many sacks does A&M have?
41. Number 1 in the country.
Yeah. Number 1 in the country versus
the SEC.
11 sacks all year for Miami. I guess 2 have come against backup quarterbacks. But 41-11, something's got to give. And,
I tell you what,
Cassius Howell's got to be that dog.
I'd like for some of those to turn into turnovers, Billy.
I know.
We don't get enough of those.
It's crazy with
and he'll turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
He will turn it over.
Would be nice to see a corner step in front of one and catch it this year.
Boy,
we've gone a whole year without that. It's wild to even. It's a wild concept to think about that Aggie corners don't have a pick this year. But that would be. You're right. But here's the deal. Turnovers come with pressure. Cassius Howell applies the pressure.
Yeah.
Big plays by your skill guys come with great quarterback play. And by the way, he can do it with his legs too. It's number 10 on offense, number 9 on.
Yep. I had the same. I kind of had 8. He's a dog just to get on the field on offense. Just to do what it takes behind the curtain to get on the field and present himself at 11 o'clock is an incredible dog, and he really is.
Oh, if Le'Veon Moss has a big game, then we're in my opinion, we're previewing Ohio State.
Yeah,
A&M. If he has that kind of game, it's a complete unknown. How many carries can he get? But it's okay if you could get him up to 10 with the stable. I mean, Reuben Owens is due for he's got to be highly motivated for a bounce back. He's had a couple really big games this year. So if you can get that stable going, E.J. Smith, I think E.J. will be really motivated to run against his dad's old rival.
Emmett and Michael are going to be there, which is pretty cool.
Maybe I'll give Troy a ring, get him down there.
Let's do it. Absolutely. All right, Looch, anything else?
That's it, buddy.
I can't wait, brother. Yep. I can't wait. All right, episode 15 of the books, playoff edition. Hope you enjoyed it. Aggies and Canes, Saturday at 11 o'clock. Look, I hope we're not taking a few more weeks off. I hope we get Christmas done, and let's preview A&M Ohio State, the Cotton Bowl. I'd love to do that. Gig 'em. Merry Christmas. Let the good times roll. Enjoy it this weekend. We'll talk to you real soon.